Hey guys, I'm Scott. Some of you know me as the owner of Mr. Wagon. Some of you know me from Talk Media. Some of you are just mates. Um, Basically, after 7-ish years of being behind the camera, I thought it was maybe time to get out in front of it. And I really wanted to document kind of a refresh on the wagon. So basically, I was meant to be flying out to the US today. I was meant to be going to SEMA, was meant to be going to Dino's Get Down again this year, and then heading over to Cletus and Cars. But unfortunately, the world as it is, that didn't happen. So I kind of thought I'll keep my annual leave and take a couple of weeks off work, and what better time to do it than when the wagon needs a refresh. So it just comes up that this year's 8 years since I bought this thing. So 8 years, it doesn't really seem like it, but yeah, it's been crazy. For those of you that know me and know how I drive the car, whenever it gets driven, it doesn't get driven very nicely. So yeah, it's definitely needs a freshen up and a good overhaul. So this is mainly going to be cosmetic. It's not going to be anything mechanical performance-wise. I know some of you aren't happy about that, but that's okay because I'm thinking this is going to be the best this car's ever looked. So basically, video. It's not going to be a vlog. You've seen me in a couple of Hinchies vlogs from Picnic Media. I can't do it. I'm not that type of guy to carry around a camera. It's hard enough me sitting here in front of this camera talking to you now. So it's not going to be vlogs. It's going to be more documentary style stuff. It's for anyone that's seen Matt Moore from Obsessed Garage. He'll spend an hour washing a car and just talk the entire time. I'm not going to make hour-long videos. Well, at least that's not the plan anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to be vlogging. It's going to be longer format documentary stuff. And I might upload once a week. It might be once a fortnight. I'm not probably going to have a regular schedule. For the refresh, at least, this is going to take 3 weeks. And the videos, they're going to be stretched over a couple of days. You're going to see me grow disgusting facial hair because it's November. You're going to see me change outfits. It is what it is, and I'm okay with that. Because for me, I'm more interested in that kind of stuff. Showing the whole picture and showing everything that goes on. Yeah, some of you are probably going to laugh at me about some of the things I do, but that's okay. That's what the internet's all about, isn't it? So the wagon, what's the plan? So like I said, I've had it 8 years. Probably 3 years into owning it, I noticed that the clear was starting to fail in a couple of places, and it turned out that prior to me owning it, the previous owner had had a bit of front end damage that had a respray done, so the clear had been failing on that. And yeah, I probably could have got it resprayed, but at the time I didn't have the cash, and I didn't really want to go through the effort of respraying a different color because underneath it's a atomic green, and it's a factory manual SSV atomic green wagon, which is pretty rare. I mean, it's a Commodore in the end, so none of them are rare, but in terms of this, I don't think there's 10 in Australia or that was ever made manual atomic SSV wagons. So I don't particularly want to go ruining the atomic green, and I love that color, especially when the sun hits it and that gold yellow flake comes out, the pearl comes out. I really enjoy the color, but I was okay. I needed a bit of a change, so I did the grey wrap. I've done roof wraps a couple of times on this thing and thought, oh geez, how hard can it be to do a whole car wrap? Watched a 20-minute video, went up the road to GA Mart, bought a whole roll of Avery Dennison gloss dark grey, I think it was, and started the wrap. And somehow I got it done in 2 days. Well, and then 3 or 4 hours the next day to do the rear and front bars. Well, it turned out it was because it was a shit wrap. Me and my mate Pat took it to Melbourne to the first Melbourne Motor X, and we put it on display outside in the True Street thing, and everyone came up and said, oh, I love the colour, it's so unique, it's so cool, but we can see green everywhere. And it was true because I had rushed it, and you could still see green on the top of the side skirts and in between the doors, and it wasn't great. And I'll fully admit that. And it was my first ever car wrap, and like I said, I did it in 2 and a bit days, which is a lot faster than a single person should wrap a car. Most shops will take a week and they'll have 2 or 3 guys on it. So it's just one of those things. I then did the brown. I bought the brown wrap probably 2 years ago. And again, I had all the best intentions, but unfortunately I rushed that as well. So not last Christmas with the fires, but the Christmas before with the really bad heat. My grandmother unfortunately passed away that year and got busy with that. So I ended up, the 5 days between Christmas and New Year, I spent wrapping this thing. And if you remember how hot it was, I was coming out, 6:30 in the morning trying to wrap a panel. By the time I finished the panel, it was already too hot because you can't be wrapping in the middle of summer in Australia, not outside anyway. So it was just one of those things that, as good as it could have been, it could be better. Or sorry, as good as it is, it could have been better. But I'm still happy with it. And I honestly thought people were going to hate this color, especially with those wheels I put on it. And everyone seemed to love it. So I was quite surprised about that. So it's been on there for nearly 2 years, and I think it's better time now than ever to do a refresh. And the new wrap arrived today. In fact, I just recorded this whole video 15 minutes ago, and halfway in between, the delivery driver rocked up with the new wrap. So I'm not going to be showing it straight away. It's not that I'm trying to hide things. I just think that the best understanding of how the whole car looks is going to be a full reveal. So the plan is that I'm going to spend the next week or so unwrapping the car, getting rid of any excess glue residue, clay barring it, washing it, preparing it basically for wrap. I've got a few things to fix up, like the rear quarters, the guards, the old wheels I had on it, they were XXR 968s, which are work equipped knockoffs basically, and they were 20 by 11 plus 15 in the rear. And for anyone that knows Commodore offsets, that's aggressive. It's a lot, and because it's airbagged, I had to do some things to those rear quarters to get them to fit. And I'm gonna have to go back and kind of reshape those a little bit, or hammer and dolly and get the guard roller back out and fix those up a little bit and make them look a little bit better. So I've got to do that, and then I've got to replace a couple of things. I mean, the rear bar here, this is the third rear bar it's had on it. The first one got destroyed by doing burnouts and had holes in it. The second one flew off at Power Cruise. The first session, Friday morning, went down the main straight at speed. The rear diffuser got pulled off, and with it took the bar. It unclipped itself. The sides folded back on itself, and it cracked. So the rest of the weekend was held on with duct tape, and the next week I went and bought another bar. Also happened to be a Voodoo Blue bar, so there's a Voodoo Blue bar underneath. I'm replacing the side skirts, so they also have damage from burnouts, but just from being low. I mean, it's a fully airbag car, and you air out somewhere and you air out in uneven ground, and there goes the side skirt. So I got a new set to replace those. Like I said, mechanically or performance-wise, I'm not doing too much to it. I do need to replace the front brakes. I've got DBA 4000 series brakes on here at the moment. I've got Brembo front brakes and DBA 4000 rotors, which I'll be replacing with just the same. Currently have Ferodo DS 2500 pads. I'll replace those with Forza pads. I'm going to give them a try and see what they're like. And the only other mechanical thing is I'm pulling out the front airbags. So a controversial topic amongst my mates, I guess. I love the airbags. I don't regret doing the airbags at all. I maybe regret not waiting 6 months and waiting for a newer version to come out where I didn't need to cut the retaining cup out underneath the strut tower, but it is what it is. They've handled fine. They've done everything I've needed them to do. 5 guys deep in the car at Power Cruise. I can link turn 2 and 3. I don't have any issues with the airbags, but there's a reliability factor, and it's kind of stopped me from driving the car so much of late. And I kind of want to get past that and get back into driving the car a lot more, enjoying it a lot more, I guess I should say. It had Accurate air level on it, and that was perfect. I never had a single issue with Accurate air level. It was fine. What I did do last year is I got one of their Endo CVT tanks, or CVTs, which was a compressor inside the tank. And it was amazing. It was silent. You couldn't hear it when the car was running. You couldn't hear a compressor. Unfortunately, though, I think they needed a bit more R&D because they had failed. And in actual fact, the company failed and filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. And they have been bought out by a company called Arnott, who do a lot of OEM air suspension stuff. But I don't think they're bringing back the CVT. I think they're just going to stick with AccuAir, with the E-level and that kind of stuff. So I'm going simple. So in the spare wheel well is a single tank, a single compressor, and my 5-channel Audison amp for my stereo. That's it. Keep it simple. Keep the rear airbags because they're perfect. They're a Ridetex Shockwave. It's a coilover and airbag in one. It is perfect. And I'll replace the front with a set of coilovers. What I will do in the front though is I'm going to buy air cups. So they're like the nose lift function on a Ferrari or Lamborghini, any of those supercars. And it will give me 3 or 4 inches of lift to just speed humps and driveways and that kind of stuff. But it gives me the reliability that I can still get home with a set of coilovers. For the last 18 months, I've been carrying around a little 12-volt tire compressor and a set of Schrader valves in case something went wrong and I needed to get home. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I'm just going to keep it simple, go back to a little bit more simple stuff and go back to enjoying the car. I've got a set of wheels for it. As far as I'm aware, they're the 4th set in the world. They're definitely the 1st in Australia. They're currently around the corner at Hills Auto Centre, getting tyres put on by Lou and Jared there. And they're sorting me out, and I've worked with those guys for a while now, and they're fantastic. So if you're in the Sydney Hills district, go and see them. But wrap, wheels, and just an overall tidy up. The wheel wells, I'm going to pull them out and replace them because they're all burnt up, and the new ones I'm going to ceramic coat and make them all nice. I'm going to go to VG Auto Paint to get some paint so I can respray my calipers. I'm going to go to Low Fabrications to see Chubby and Jace and get some car builder stuff because I've got to do some more sound deadening in the car and just make it a lot more of an enjoyable car to drive. So that's basically the next 2 weeks. This week is going to be the teardown. Next week I'm going to start wrapping. So this video is going to go out this week sometime. It's the 9th of November, Monday the 9th of November today. This will go out sometime this week. Later next week I'll put out a video about me basically disassembling the car, pulling the old wrap off, showing how I clean it and go through all that. If the wrap's in any shots, it's going to be in black and white because I don't want to reveal it yet. Because like I said, I think it just, you need to see the whole car. But I think the car's going to look really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to how this turns out. Then the 21st, Hinchy's coming up. He's got a return of favour for me wrapping his wagon. He's going to help me wrap mine, and he'll obviously vlog it, and he's going to do a cinematic release video or reveal video, which I think is going to be pretty cool. Once that's done and that's live and my photos are live, well, then I'll go back to producing these and I'll show you all the stuff I've done over the last 3 weeks to get it to this point. This is a 3-week project. I'm going to have crappy facial hair for the next couple of weeks with Movember. You're going to see changing light. You're going to see 3 different versions of the wagon in the same video. It is what it is, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. If you don't, that's okay. That's totally fine. I understand that this isn't the normal vloggy style videos, but I think a lot of people are still going to enjoy it. So yeah, like I said, this video right now will be up this week. Next week's video will be the teardown and the preparation for the wrap. The week after will be the reveal videos, the reveal photos, Hinchy's part as well. And then I'll release a couple more videos on the channel with this reveal here. I think that's about it. Like I said, wrap, wheels, a tidy up. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that suspension and brake stuff done in the next in the next 2 weeks. I'll see how I go. It might be for a little bit later. I might be done in the 3rd week of my annual leave. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm going to have a bunch of mates help me out. My mate Matt, who's going to let us use his warehouse to wrap the car. A bunch of mates are coming to help me wrap it. It's going to be pretty cool, and I think the hard work's definitely going to pay off on this one, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. So I'll leave that with you, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.